So hello and welcome to the After Church Tea Time. And yeah, we're going to discuss around today's sermon around thriving through challenges. And I would like to invite our team to introduce themselves. I'm Silvia Takac.
I'm Liana.
Sandra Batista.
Okay, so let's go. I'm very curious what this service brought up in your hearts, and I'm sure God brought us here together for a reason, and I can't wait for this juicy after church tea time to begin.
So Carmel brought up that things had fallen apart and she had to really, really rely on God to help get her through her challenges. Sometimes you just have to totally surrender to God and know God's got you, God's got your back.
Yeah, I feel it's, sorry, Diana, go on.
Yeah, I love that about the challenges, because that's then you know extra how much you need God, and I feel that's also the lesson, one of the main lessons, that you just want God to be with you when you move through challenges, or like always, but with the challenges it's like extra clear. And you have no other choice.
Wow, that's really beautiful. But I feel it's actually the right choice, the right choice for each moment. It's only, it's a gift from God to really see the truth about our best choice in any situation, be it good times or challenges. But yeah, I love what you said, Liana, that it really brings focus on it, that you must say yes, else it's not not so pleasant. And I'm sure that all of us here on the Ascension path, we desire to feel good and we desire to thrive. So saying yes to God is the only possible option, actually.
Yeah, it feels like that's what Carol said. It's chances are a gift, like you earned it. And what you say about saying yes to God, that's actually the gift, and then because it brings you to saying yes more than even before.
Yeah, and as you say yes, and you follow the steps through the healing process, through the purification process, you just get small signs and even bigger signs that, hey, you made the right choice. Even it may seem that you're losing something or you're leaving something behind that might have been comfortable for you. So I felt really impressed by Carmen's story, by her vulnerability to share this with us and to share with us her leap of faith, her strong faith in God. And yeah, everything lined up afterwards, and her relationship to God was even stronger than before.
God only ever wants us to succeed. God just wants the best for us. And we just have to be open to God in our day-to-day life as we go through life. Just be open to the little signs that God gives you to show you that you're on the right path.
I don't know, maybe, actually, I know I choose clarity. It would be nice to share something about our personal journeys when it happened like that. Well, actually, it always happens like that, but when hearing an example, it might be even more powerful.
Yeah, I actually had a recent challenge where I was also like, God, I live in a big city, and yeah, I had to go usually drive on the bike to places, and yeah, I was in a really busy place, and I fell from my bike, and it was really scary, like in the middle of traffic and yeah, the other people. But yeah, it was actually God pushing me to pay more attention and to be more present. And the most scary part was actually going back on the bike, and after that accident, and be again between all those people and the other people on the road. And yeah, that was my challenge, to go through that fear. And I really felt, yeah, that I had to trust God in my heart, that I was safe, that I won't hurt myself again, or no accident again. And yeah, after that I felt stronger to, otherwise if I would give up, I would stay scared of driving in the city on my bike. I would probably make the metro or public transport. But yeah, that was my recent challenge, and it's exactly as Carmel described, how to move through that. Because yeah, I also had to heal a lot of yeah, what it showed me, like where I was misaligned, and where I was having fears or choosing fear, and that's why I manifested this whole thing. And I healed that, and after that I felt stronger, and I enjoyed being on the bike more than before. Just a little thing.
Yeah. Congratulations! I can't even see it before my eyes. Yeah, well, I would like to share also something that's ongoing, actually. I believe so 1 month ago, my cat got sick. She has some kind of skin disease that requires like very careful and consistent treatment. And it was a journey from arriving to the perfect vet, and it might be not the final vet who's treating my cat, but the one that I really wanted to work with was on holiday for a couple of weeks. So, but I called him anyway, and I followed God, and yeah, I recorded his treatment plan. And I applied everything that he said, and like, okay, I'm doing the job of a vet now, but I know that this treatment plan is the right one for my cat. And if I feel that this is right in my heart, and I'm following God. And yeah, her condition has been up and down. And but meanwhile, this united me and my mother with a joint purpose, because she has been feeling lacking purpose lately, and this event brought us together to work together for a good cause, and has brought many blessings. And God always has a point, always has a purpose to point out for us. And while I know that I see that the cat is not yet 100% well, I know that I'm awaiting success here, and in whichever form God sees fit. But I know that I must follow his guidance, and I'm choosing that. And this only cleans up any let's say blind spots in faith I might be having. And that's why this sermon really comes at the perfect time for me.
I have a similar story about a pet. I had a dog, his name is Sonny, and he lived to be 15 years old. But when he was 2 years old, he started losing an awful lot of weight. He lost about half his weight. So I had to take him to the vets, and we had to do a test on him, and we found that he had an enzyme deficiency. So we bought, my late husband and I, we bought enzymes for the dog, and he started putting the weight on, but the enzymes were expensive, but God worked a way for us to get the enzymes cheap. We ran into this lady who also had a dog with the same problem, and she told me to go online to this website that sold those enzymes, and I was able to buy the enzymes and save my dog. My dog got to live to be a nice old age, 15. That was God too working.
Yeah, thank you. That's inspiring for me to go on.
God's always around you. God is everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, so something else that Carmel mentioned, and I really liked, is that don't be afraid to let go of something. And I was wondering if you relate to this, or you related to this at any point in your journey.
Certainly different times in my life, I've had to let go of stuff, let go of old energies, relationships, people, things. Just let go, release it. And usually God gives whatever you lose, God has something new for you, in store for you. It's always good, as long as you're like focusing on God and going towards God. It's always good.
Amen. Yeah, I was also thinking about my twin flame union pattern, that even though some behaviors are really familiar in our communication, in my communication with my twin flame, and it would be more comfortable going there because we're so used to, rather than having a clarifying conversation, which might feel out of our comfort zone. But if God calls me to have that conversation, or to communicate something in a way that may feel even confrontational, but actually it only has the purpose to discipline in the name of God and with love, then I must say yes to that. And if I don't follow God's guidance there, I'm still given a second and an infinite number of opportunities to upgrade in that and to let go of the old pattern. And I really love how God is so generous to give us endless opportunities in anything that we desire.
God only ever want. Oh, I'm sorry.
I love that you say like endless opportunities. Like even if you haven't learned from the challenge or everything, it will come up again. So you can still move through it. It doesn't disappear. It's just like God, okay. Yeah, you're not choosing right now to move through it. It will come up again, and that's actually loving. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sandra, you wanted to say something as well.
Yeah, that's true. Whatever we're going through, whatever patterns we're going through with people or whatever there is, God's always giving us opportunities to make the right choice and to, vibrate up and choose love and choose a better way. That never ends. It's always going to be that way. We're learning about ourselves all the time.
Yeah, indeed. And yeah, what what comes to my mind now is that indeed, I think Rian mentioned it in the intro of the sermon, that ego will want to strike in a way when we feel like we're the most vulnerable, because then it may seem that it makes sense to surrender to ego. And that's when our faith is really tested. And I really love this piece, because from the darkest night comes the brightest dawn, and the greater the challenges, the greater the success is when we walk with God through it. So I really feel vulnerable when speaking about this, and it feels really good, because I like being open and vulnerable.
Yes,
Yeah, I
that's.
guess.
I'm sorry, we did it again. Sorry.
I guess you need to be vulnerable to be able to grow. Otherwise, stay there.
Yeah, and maybe it would be also helpful to give some examples here, like even maybe to people who are considering going on the Ascension path together with us in our community. And how does this really look like when you feel like almost on the cusp of surrendering to ego, and you just simply don't do it because you realize you just got to say no to illusion and follow God, even if it feels that it's the more difficult way in that moment.
Sometimes we have to walk through the fire to get to the other side and be one with God. And on the other side is also your twin flame. You have to go through all the difficulties.
Yeah, since you mentioned twin flame, I will bring up again a piece of my twin flame journey here. That when I find myself in such a moment, that a part of me would rather give up because it feels so difficult to move forward. Then maybe the tendency is to start projecting on my twin flame heavily, that he's doing that, he did that, he said that, and he's not a good person. And a good person would not say that, and etc. And then it takes real fortitude to take all my focus back to myself. And when this happens, it really feels like I'm in the middle of a storm, and I'm like Sailor Moon fighting the demons or something like that. And sometimes it's like a process of grounding into my divine self back more fully, and seeing the truth that I'm innocent, my twin flame is also innocent, and we don't have this purpose to hurt each other. It's only the illusion of ego that can hurt us, and then we can just move forward simply by choosing love. And it's enough if I choose love, because then he does too, and happily ever after. And I love that this is the promise of God always. And it's just simply the more we strengthen our spiritual muscle, the easier is saying no to ego. But even like that, there are moments when it's really tempting to give in to fear and hopelessness. And I love that the Church of Union provides this really high level of spiritual support that it's almost like it's really impossible to surrender to ego if you really claim in your heart this support system with honesty. I'm curious what you guys think about this and about our support system.
We need the support system because it just propels us to keep moving forward, you know. And when we're saying our twin flame's doing this or that or the other thing, it's just he's showing you where you're doing this, that, or the other thing to yourself. So we have to always be mindful to do the mirror exercise and love that.
Yeah, and with what we have, you can really feel the contrast with the old way of thinking or believing in ego. We can really feel the difference and learn the difference. And there were even examples in the sermon from what ego does to bring you down, which I didn't know before. So you can really learn the difference other than trying to learn it on your own, because that's taking a long time. So, so it's really important to have this support.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really passionate about talking about this because I've been on the twin flame journey for a really long time. I think in this September will be, not really long time in the cosmic in cosmic time, but for a human life, maybe 14 years. It's considerable. And I know that I trusted God right from the beginning, but until I attracted this really bright support system into my life, it did feel really heavy and hopeless many times, and also lonely. But I'm glad I healed this block within myself, so I could join this community and this church of union. And it's basically everything that I always wanted. Be with my twin flame, be amongst people who have very similar values, and that itself crushes ego. And sometimes I can even feel it when I go through a cycle when I feel this dark night for maybe days or even weeks. At some point I feel okay, it was ego and it's dying now. And when ego dies, because it never existed, I realize, okay, my community was supporting me all along to get to this point, to this breakthrough. And I feel closer than ever to my spiritual community in those moments. And it really proves that God is only leading us deeper in love and deeper in the relationships that are really meant for us.
Carmel did mention that people who were into ego, they were like holding her back or not wanting her to succeed. And she had to keep going. She had to keep persevering, choosing love, choosing God. And then, God opened up and gave her the new way or the new things she needed to keep going. So that's great for faith, to trust God and surrender to God.
Yeah, it's like when we choose a spiritual upgrade or upgrade in our life, then we always get to this response and this opportunity to manifest that change. And sometimes it happens really quickly. I feel like in Carmel's journey, that it felt like the universe is pushing her to make those changes, but actually it's something she chose within to recognize her divine value even more, to respect and support her success even more, and that supports her twin flame union as well.
Yeah, and she was also trained by God before to do this up until this point. She said, like, she was born, like practically born, and already from her birth pushed. So that was really a strong example. Yeah, you grow into your faith, and you grow into trusting God. It's not happening all at once. But you can really go faster by that, being pushed or like being pressured in a good way. And let yourself be pressured by God.
Yeah, God is only sharpening us. I think she mentioned that too. And we are diamonds under pressure, diamonds, emerging diamonds. And it's like when you're at the other end of the tunnel, when you've healed that block, you just look back and you don't even remember the block or that it happened. You just enjoy that success. And there's also no point in remembering illusion, just wisdom that comes from that lesson.
And it's important to recognize our divine rights and to know that we're entitled to all the good things that we want and that God wants us to have it, and not to ever settle, but to just keep persevering what is rightfully yours.
Amen. So what I also liked about Carmel's share and sermon was that she emphasized what a blessing is to just go and be with God. Because sometimes the ascension journey will bring you to this point that that's the only place where you can go and the only place where you want to be, actually. And that's really fulfilling and even satisfying. Like, you don't want to be in any other place but with God. And that's enough. Even if the whole world deserts you, it doesn't matter, because you're here with God now, and your foundation is getting stronger.
Yeah, and
right.
You keep being invited to choose my God. Do you want to be with me or not? Like all this, everything that happens is just a choice. Like, do you want to be with me or do you want to be with something else than me? Like, as if God is asking that in a way. And I love that. She had an example and she was really pressured to her. A lot going on, but she felt deep in her heart this joy of God, like wanting to be there, and she chose that instead of all this. Chose to trust that part, that life, instead of all these other things.
Yeah, and I feel that's a really good example of putting God first, because maybe without this foundation with the Church of Union and the spiritual work, one would have said, okay, then I'll just choose being with my twin flame physically over following God's lead here. But it can be sensed that Carmel's foundation is really solid, and she just chose the best thing, God. And that will lead her to an even stronger twin flame union. Maybe if you feel called to share a situation when you had this dilemma, what to put first, God or something else that seemed more important at that moment, but you realized, no, that's not the divine order.
If you follow ego, you're gonna like just, how would I say, just it lowers your energy. You go into like contrast, and then you like get numbed out and you can't feel God. So if you choose God, you go into God and your divinity, and everything else works itself out, and you can feel your feelings. That's the choice.
Yeah, so spiritual work is crucial, because if we are numb, or we're numbing to what we really feel in that given moment, then we can't really make a sound choice because our vision is clouded if we are not present with what we feel. Yeah, so another topic I would like to propose from the sermon is again something that Carmel said: I need nobody who would not have me succeed. And that can be a really deep topic, because many of us start the ascension journey, or all of us, with certain relationships that we've always had in our lives, and we might feel some levels of attachment to the old ways of being, to the old relationships, to the old habits, to the old patterns. And then the more we ground ourselves in this spiritual work, with the mirror exercise, with this community, the more our vision gets clearer to see who are really the people who support us in succeeding in our lives. And then it takes like a lot of strength and a lot of prioritizing God to say no to those patterns or relationships. And sometimes it can be really triggering, because ego might say, okay, there's something wrong with love if love asks you to let go of that pattern or relationship or whatever. And it's just another way for us to learn that only God matters, only love matters. And if love guides us to do something, even if it sometimes means saying no to a connection, saying no to a relationship, then we just do that without questioning God. But it takes a higher level of spiritual maturity to do that. And I really admire Carmel for that. It's a really a great story of success.
Yeah, it's also a journey you're taking. You can't just say it to everyone who says like, oh, I don't like it, okay, go away, like no friends. So it's something you really have to be clear in your heart if you are somehow attached to that yourself. And then after that you can say no to the relationship. Yeah, that's also a big journey, even if you have already mastered this. You still keep mastering it because you still keep growing in your desire for God. So there keeps these people or pushing you with other choice made. So.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. I mean, of course, just because in this example, Carmel said no to her twin flames behavior or to that relationship pattern. And it might look on the outside that she said no to the relationship, but because it's her twin flame, they will, of course, reunite in a higher level of peace and harmony. And saying no to a relationship, it doesn't mean it's over. It may return in a higher vibration or in a higher manifestation, and it can work the same way for friendships or other types of relationships. Some relationship might return in a better shape, and some relationship will be completely surrendered. And I really love that you touched upon this. Yeah, it's really one of my favorite topics.
Yeah. Yeah, it took me learning a lot as well. Like not attached to the people, but to the relationship with the pattern, or because you're honoring the choice of the other person in a way. Like you choose this pattern, okay, I don't relate to that anymore, so I don't relate to you because you're choosing that and I don't. So it's actually that when you say no. And yeah, that's really, yeah, it really takes mastery to do that.
Yeah, beautiful mastery. Yeah, we are given the opportunity to choose mastery, and yeah, we have the greatest tool in the world.
Carmel is, she's already one with her twin flame, regardless of what's going on in the physical. She's one. She's just choosing to love herself and not to do those patterns or get into those patterns that aren't helpful.
Yeah, I think that was really helpful to be mentioned, because yeah, that's why we're here in this community, because we're choosing God and our divine selves and our harmonious twin flame unions. So I'd really love the fact that the only thing we're ever giving up is illusion, and we're just going deeper with God and with success.
Right, and ego would trick you into believing that illusion's real. And God's not real, but you need to know God's real. It's the illusion that's not real.
Yeah, it's beautiful and sounds really easy when you say it, but when you're there and when you're working through the blocks in your personal journey, it might feel more challenging. But as you guys said, with spiritual mastery, it just becomes easier and easier.
But that's why we have this community, so that we can love and support one another through these difficult times and challenges that we may have.
Yeah, I feel like there's a vibration of humility, and even in this discussion, and I think it's also because of this tone that was set by Carmel to be really open and vulnerable, even about the challenges we may be going through, because in the outside ego world, it's usually not very encouraged to speak about challenges, because that may put us in according to ego, in a weak spot, and then attack can can follow after that. But in God's kingdom, it's really safe to share good moments, because no one will envy us. We will only receive support, and we can also talk about challenges openly, because we will also get support and not any traces of attack. Yeah, so is there anything else you feel you would like to share about today's sermon, or anything about your journey?
After Carmel made the changes and moved into the other place, she seemed like she was at peace, and that was good. She was in a good place.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if God guided her to create this sermon, I'm sure it was from a place of pure peace at core, and it just got more and more obvious and more grounded. Yeah, and that showed up also in her reality by just attracting those blessings one by one after making the choice. I'm following God here. Yeah, so if you guys feel complete, then we can say goodbye for now, but see you all next week at Sunday service, and also at the after church tea time. And please also like and subscribe to our Church of Union channel. And you can also, of course, join our Facebook Unionism Spiritual Discussion Group, where there are also further discussions and conversations about the Church of Union and all these wonderful topics. So see you soon.